Hello Reddit. Millennials, what is one thing that the rest of us just don't understand? We didn't give ourselves participation trophies. In addition, no kid ever got a participation trophy and thought, oh, this is amazing, I'm a winner. You either didn't care about it at all, or realized how much of a symbol of losing it was. We got some really shitty advice, did everything we were asked to do, and when it didn't work we got bitched at for not doing it hard enough. Every time you bash millennials for taking participation ribbons, remember who came up with that stupid fucking idea. Here is a clue, it wasn't us. The reason older people can get away with not being a computer/technology person is not because they are unnecessary. It's because you have your kids and grandkids to do that shit for you. Stop shitting on technology and maybe just say thank you to them. Labor jobs are not shameful, and you can actually earn good money doing it. Trades are dying because we were told to go to college and then get a desk job because it's better than what mom or dad does now. I think we are the only gen to have grown up in both the pre-internet and internet era. I remember growing up with VCRs and Walkmans. I remember dial-up internet, when the internet was still a gimmick, and not all that interesting. I remember growing up in a state of constant change, both socially, politically, and technologically. I think the state of constant change and constant adaptation is why we do so well with technology when our parents, just one gen earlier, grew up with a mostly analog world, and that's why it's so hard for them to change with the world. For better or worse, we have been given a unique way of growing up, and we are the only generation to have grown up in both eras of history. That it's hard, even in my early 30s with a good full-time job, to afford rent and food and everything else. I wish I had been born in a time where working a job like I have now would pay for a 3-bedroom house and 2 cars. No, I'm not lazy. I just don't think I should have to work 2 full-time jobs just to survive. Microsoft Word is not a fucking design program and shouldn't be used as one. The whole I had my house paid by the time I was 25 from old people. Houses cost a whole lot less then, Barbara. The economy is growing, but our paychecks are not. Economists will tell you that wages generally increase with productivity, that you're paid in line with the value of what you do. When people who grew into adulthood in the 2000s and 2010s ignore your economic/career advice, it's not because we are snotty or ungrateful, or don't value your opinion. It's because the economy is so different that advice which may have been good in the 50s 80s is not likely to still be good. I'm the oldest millennial. I have worked ridiculously hard, with no end in sight, to make the same money my dad, with no degree or specialized training, made and makes to this day. That if I fail to get a job from multiple different places, it doesn't mean I'm not trying, it means the place that I tried are just picky with who they hire. That most of us have actually done customer service jobs our whole life. And when people talk about how millennials and the younger generations are all about instant gratification, each and every one of us has vivid memories of old fucking dirtbags throwing goddamn tantrums because they didn't get their way right that very moment. Old people have absolutely no patience for anything. Younger people typically have more manners. Almost every advantage prior generations had has been stripped away. Affordable college, wages that allow you to pay rent and buy food. Other things like retirement security, nope 401,000 with fees that chew up your savings or bubbles that wipe it out. Unemployment protections have even become unreliable if you get laid off. And forget going to the dentist regularly, haha, good luck maintaining health insurance. Work hard for less, and be called a whiner for pointing it out. Why it is that most of the older generation, and some millennials, can have something called a cell phone in their pocket, and decide to never take a minute to fact check something that sounds suspicious. We may very well be the first overeducated generation in the history of this country. Most of us have college degrees, and very sizable portion of us have graduate degrees too. We have these because we basically have to in order to even have the chance of making enough money for a comfortable life as adults. We are a little pissed off because we all grew up being told that if you do okay in high school and go to college, you'll be able to get a job that'll pay you well enough to live the life you want to live. Then, we did those things, and when we got to the other end of it, it was all basically jerked away. That you can take on over 100k in debt because your parents' income decided you got basically nothing for student expense assistance, even though there's no guarantee your parents will pay for anything, and go on to get a PhD, and still only make national median income. Yep, Dr. Median, that's surely what I signed up for. Drowning in debt, PLS send help. Whoever the old fucks are who decided to get rich off of the education of future generations can burn in hell for eternity. Every time I read a thread about being a millennial, it just ends in depression. That's the legacy our parents' generations have left us, depression and anxiety. I dream of being able to afford a $100,000 house. I have a college degree, and I'm working on my master's. I make a better wage than a lot of my friends, but I literally cannot imagine affording a home, let alone raising children. It is not that hard to update a spreadsheet, Brenda. You don't have to create anything. You don't have to format anything. All we are asking is for you to type in a box. If you can fill out the forms at your podiatrist's office and send an email, you can update a spreadsheet. Quit bragging about your willful ignorance, as if it was a cute quirk. Things are different, and that's okay. We talk, socialize, and work very differently than people did even 10 years ago. It's not bad, it's just different. $12 an hour is not a livable wage, not even close. I feel pressured to move away from the state I love because rent is so fucking expensive. Ever been to a professional sporting event and groaned at the price of admission, concessions, and even water? It's been kind of like living an entire life inside of that stadium. That you need to stand down. There are people in my industry that have been here for 40+ years, and because of that they think they have earned the right to just coast through life till retirement. A lot of their success is built from the younger people working their asses off beneath them. I have a house now that cost 120 plus THOUSAND dollars more than it was when you raised me, and it's smaller than the house we grew up in. It took me until I'm 34 to get it, and you got yours at 21. You worked a summer job plus bartending for 3 years while you were going to school, and you made enough to pay for your college and masters, and for my mom to stay home. This was your life. Mine is not that way. We will absolutely undo just about everything boomers did politically. I look at these old ignorant politicians and just think, oh, just die already. Also, my fellow generation, please learn to use basic tools and Google your home issues first. I don't want to charge you $600 to tighten a screw, but I will. Cause tradesmen are dying, and soon $600 repairs will be a bargain. I want to fuck over the boomers, not you. Learn to fix shit. My biggest problem with the current such a millennial is that I'm a millennial. I'm 37 and I manage a bunch of software engineers for a large software company. We are not young anymore. We aren't struggling because we got trophies for everything. We're in the workforce and excelling. I manage 23-year-olds up to 50+-year-olds. I'm just over 2 years out from being able to be discriminated against due to my age. People need to just get over it already. We are no longer the future, we are the now. Getting a job by walking in and talking to the manager. Usually you are met with, did you apply online? Things aren't like they used to be when it comes to hiring. Online applications seem to be more important. That being a raging cunt won't make your restaurant bill magically go down in price. I'm not saying all baby boomers are guilty of this, but they seem to be the majority of people who try this stunt. We are not having a baby boom of our own because we're responsible enough to not bring children into a world we can't afford to live in. That we want to get married, buy a house, have children, all the things our forefathers did, but we can barely afford to keep ourselves going. Add to that the worsening political and actual climate and we're all pretty hopeless.